Alright, this is a demo with cyanoacrylate fuming, which is known as superglue, is how it's commonly referred to. And we discovered several years ago through manufacturers of superglue, they would make their little packages and send them out, and then by the time they got on their shelves, they would have superglue fingerprints inside of them. And they would be all frustrated, and they were looking for a way to eliminate it. Of course, law enforcement thought, well, hey, maybe it's something we can use to our advantage. So this is a superglue fuming chamber. This is a portable one. Actually, your labs will have big fish tank looking things that they use. And for my experience in the field, I like this a lot better because when I'm done, I take the bag away and I throw it away. I don't have to worry about cleaning it. If you do want to clean superglue though off the inside of your fish tank, the best way to do it is Coca-Cola. It works better than anything you can buy. But for my money, if it's a lot of processing, if there's a lot of things to do, I'm going to send it to the lab anyway. If there's a few things, then I'm just going to use my little portable chamber. So there's a couple things here. We have a couple objects that we're going to try to process some fingerprints off of. One of the important aspects of this is to not overfume. So I'm going to take and leave a pretty good fingerprint on the inside of the bag right in this circle here. And so that tells me when I can see my print process, when I can see it developing, that tells me that I'm pretty well done. Now this object here we have, you buy from a crime scene company. It's called a hot shot. And there's a blue chemical in the bottom of this. There's a metal can with cotton wadding in the bottom. And so when I drop this into the blue chemical will soak up in there and create heat. And then this is just superglue. And so I'm going to put it in this little reservoir here. It'll heat up. It'll start to fume. You don't necessarily have to have heat. I can take superglue and put on cotton balls and just put it in here and leave. Come back in 24 hours, the same thing would be accomplished. It will do it by itself. It's just heat, you accelerate the process. You can also take one of these, which is just a coffee warmer, and if you have one of those little metal or aluminum muffin tins or even a piece of aluminum foil, and you put the superglue in it, again, you can accomplish the exact same thing. This is just more fun because it's portable. You can carry it with you in your crime scene kit and use it whenever you want to. You don't have to have a power source. So what I'm going to do is open up the chemicals, and these are hazardous chemicals, so you always want to be careful when you do it. And again, I'm going to take this activator canister, put the cotton down, and put it inside here. And so what's going to happen is, as it soaks up, this will start to heat. So I want to take my superglue, and pour it in the reservoir here. And then I'm going to put this inside here, and in about 5 minutes you're going to see it's going to start to smoke. The smoke will come out of it and you'll start seeing it fume. So I think we're just going to pause here for a little bit and come back when it starts to fume. Alright, we've let this sit for 7 or 8 minutes now, I think. And we started noticing the chemicals react and the superglue just kind of coming up in a mist or fume. And I can see right here my test prints that I put are becoming very, very clear. And one of the dangers always with superglue fuming is that you don't want to overfume. Because if you let it overfume, then this little white stuff that's showing the prints now, you'll just see a white fume everywhere. You won't see any of the prints. And that's another reason I like these little hot shots, is because they're very limited in how much superglue will come out. So you're better off than if you didn't get the prints, you can always put another one in and redo it, rather than where you've got your hot plate and your aluminum foil and glue, you got to be careful to watch it because it will overfume and fill the chamber. So we're going to call this good. Excuse me. And you have to be real careful when you remove this top not to lean down over it. I had a student one time who glued her contacts in by doing that. So, you know, it is still fuming. So you take it off and kind of let it air out just a little bit. This hot shot, it is a chemical process, so it will be hot. But if you actually let this set up, then you will be able to, these will be permanent, they will not go away, and I don't know if you can see where the prints have developed on this.
It's on the table.
And also on the can, I'm sure. Yeah, you can see some really nice prints that have developed. You can take, once you're satisfied that they're set, you can take a black fingerprint powder and go over them and then create more of a contrast so that you can see them better, photograph them, and lift them. So that's super glue fuming, one of the most effective ways to lift prints because it's really hands-off. The process just works itself.